Goal Digger, before we dive in, I want to let you know about something I'm teaching live coming up that you do not want to miss. 10x your productivity workshop. We're going to do a 4-hour intensive. Now, don't worry, everything will be recorded, so go ahead and click the button to register. But if you're somebody who just feels overwhelmed, out of control, you have no method to your madness, or you're working hard, but you're not seeing the results because you're just not spending time on the right things, I'm going to teach you how I've become the most productive person I know. I juggle multiple businesses. I have two small children and a lot of sports. I get 8 hours of sleep. I go to yoga. I walk every day. I do all the things. I hang out with my husband on date night, and we go to church. So if that seems too good to be true, click the button, grab your spot. I'm going to teach you how to 10x your productivity.
In the thick of a series right now. We're in the thick of it and really learning how to level up your brand like a boss. And if you know me, I love talking about personal branding. So if you haven't already, go back and watch the other episodes or listen. And if you have not done that, you probably don't know, but you can find out now how to get the resources that come with this. I have a full workbook and some other tools. So just send us a DM over on Instagram with the word brand. So what we're talking about is how to level up your brand like a boss. And really what we know at this point in your business is most likely you might be on the struggle bus a little bit, feel lost, maybe you've lost focus, or it's just not as easy to make sales as it was before. The truth is what we just came out of was a bit of a false perception of what it looked like to do business. If you think of pre-pandemic, for those of you that have been in business longer than the last few years, you know what I'm talking about. This is kind of the new norm. It's a reset. So whatever you're experiencing now just means that it was easy. It had been pretty easy for most of us the last few years. So now it's time to get really clear on your brand and your messaging, who you want to work with, and how you can help those people get a tangible result. And that's why we're digging into this work. So today we're going to talk about developing your personal brand. And what I mean by that is we're going to very concisely come up with your elevator pitch. This is something that you will use to introduce yourself on when you're doing podcast interviews. Maybe you're going live. If people come to your bio over on Instagram or on the new Threads app, or maybe on YouTube, they are seeing right away your I am statement is what I call it. Your I am statement is so people know who you are, who you serve, and how you help those people. So for me, Kimberly Olson, creator of Goal Digger Girl Co., where we serve female entrepreneurs, teaching them simple systems and online strategies in sales and marketing on social media. So as you hear that, you know that I work with female entrepreneurs, and I'm going to help them to implement simple systems and online strategies, and I'm going to help them do that on social media. So it's very clear of who I am and who I work with and what I do. So that's what you want. You want that instant clarity. And what's really interesting is when we work with our students in our programs to get their I am statement nailed down, we often find a pivot emerges. So if you already have something in place, this is a really great time to take a look at what's on your social channels, maybe your website, your bio, wherever you're sharing information about yourself and your business. Or my favorite is when people in normal life ask you what you do, you kind of stare at them. You're like, I have a side hustle. Like you don't even know how to describe it, right? It needs to come off the cuff. It needs to be something that you inherently know because you're so committed to what you've come up to and you have really just gone all in with that messaging, okay? So in the workbook, you can take notes and write this down, or in a journal if you have one, but I want you to come up with your own I am statement. In 1 or 2 sentences, I want you to very clearly and concisely let people know who you are, what you do, and who you serve and how you help those people, okay? So I have 2 examples for you, students that I've worked with over the years. Gemma says, empowering moms, she's from the UK, empowering moms to embrace the challenges of raising sensitive, strong, and emotionally balanced children. And then Lachelle says, helping impact-driven solopreneurs gain clarity and create sustainable influence and income within 30 days. So you see that very specific, tangible outcome, solopreneur who needs the clarity and they need to create that influence. and the income's going to come within 30 days. So someone reading that's going to go, oh, well, I want that, right? So she's for me. It really is the alpha dog in the room. And what I mean by that is when people are making buying decisions, they are taking longer to make a decision and buy, which is also different from the last few years. And they are doing their homework. They are sitting with things to decide, do I want to work with that person? The best way to position yourself in the marketplace to be the obvious solution is to do this work so that way they see you are clear, you have conviction, you are the obvious solution. How do you become the obvious solution? You put yourself in a category of one. What that means is there is no parallel to you. And the best way to do that is to take the time to figure out this personal brand, this messaging of really who you are, okay? So to take it one step further, you can go ahead and create a mood board. I love mood boards. I can't even tell you. So if you look at my overall vibe, if you look at my social media assets, if you see me at an in-person event, even hanging around town, going to a softball game, I'm going to be wearing certain colors. Okay. You're like, what? That's so weird. Well, think about it this way. If I'm at a softball game, because I'm a softball mom, and I actually have this really cute shirt, it says, what does it say? Something about diamonds. I'll have to get it to you guys so you can see it. It's super cute, but it's something about softball. It's a pink shirt, and I'm doing a story. Well, guess what? I'm totally on brand in that moment. Now you might say that's kind of extreme. Have you ever met somebody who lives and breathes who they are and what they embody? Okay. I am absolutely obsessed with the documentary series called The Last Dance. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Whatever you think about Michael Jordan, I had his poster in my room on my door when I was a kid. Growing up, I was really into sports and basketball. And so he was someone I really looked up to. I had the number 23 in softball. Anyways, I ordered all of his books, by the way, and I'm studying him and I'm watching him. And if you watch how he is all in, he is all consumed with the game of basketball when he played professionally. So it's not to be, kind of crazy, but if you think about Grant Cardone, one of the most successful moguls of our time, his recent book, Be Obsessed or Be Average, is absolutely true. Okay. So what I mean by this is embody. This is the best way I can say it. Embody your brand. Be your brand. Don't just, go, okay, I'm going live. So I'm just gonna, put this hat on and this persona, like be your brand, embody your brand, whatever that looks like. You don't have to match like I do. Okay. You can do whatever you want to do. My point in saying that with the mood board is that I took a mood board and I have redone this mood board over and over again. Very first mood board I made was in 2018. And I made the mood board and I just did it on Pinterest. I hadn't figured out Trello yet. And I made it on Pinterest and I made a board. And what I would do is I would drop websites and graphics and maybe a thumbnail from a pin on Pinterest. And I would put it in the mood board. And what I started to do is I started to create a vision of what I wanted my brand to be like, the vibe, the feel, the look, and all the things. So as you're working through this workbook, this is a good time to say, what are some key words that evoke the emotion of who you are and what you want to represent with your brand? So for me, I actually just did this again yesterday. I mean, you guys, I absolutely live what I teach. I just did this again. And the words that I wrote down, I'll see if I can pull them up for you guys. But what you're going to do is you're going to write down the words to the words you want to evoke, the emotion. So here's the ones I wrote down. Timeless, fierce, classic, graceful, passionate, a visionary, godly, fiery, driven, and clear is what I wrote down. Just a few words to capture how I'm feeling right now. And so with the mood board, part of this is to say, what do I want people to feel when they experience my brand? Okay. So if you think about my content, if you think about other people you follow, how does their content make you feel? How does that brand make you feel? The thing that we want to remember is that a brand is a promised solution. It's a promised outcome. It's a promised experience. When you come into our programs, we have something called the Gold Digger Difference. And we promise you that you will experience that by being a client of ours. And we don't take that lightly. We meet on it constantly. We're always recalibrating, enhancing our programs. How can we get better? Because we're so clear on what we want the experience to be. What experience do you want your audience to have when they interact with you on social media and they interact with your content. And it might even be how you respond if you get a DM. It could be when a new customer comes into your funnel, they buy something from you. Do you reach out to them? Right? Or they just a drop in the bucket and a number. So this mood board and this whole brand embodiment is so powerful. And it's something that you can really emulate and just really, the principles we talked about, take them in, take the time to do the work. So if you need the workbook, just text us or send us a DM on Instagram. Just put brand in there. Also, I have an upcoming workshop I want to invite you to. 10x your productivity. So if you want to know the secrets to my success, I've been able to build a 6-figure business while working full-time. I've scaled my business, my company to almost 8 figures, but I've done over 8 figures in sales collectively on social media with network marketing as well. So I've been around the block, and I've been able to do all of this while maintaining my health of sleep, getting enough sleep, exercising, maintaining a strong relationship with my husband, and having date nights and traveling and be with my kids, just all the things that we want, but still be able to run multiple companies and just get it all done. I have cracked the code, and I'm going to share that with you in this intensive workshop. So it's going to be on September 27th. It's a complimentary workshop. So look for the link below, get yourself in, and we'll see you there. If this was helpful, please take a screenshot and throw it in your stories and tag me at the Goal Digger Girl, and I'll give you a shout out for doing that. And don't forget to subscribe because we don't want you to miss any episodes. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire.